Hey, sisters, we're live. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. Hopefully, my phone's not turned up because I have it here so I can read the Oh, there it is. I'm turning it down. 30-day reset, 2 days to go, right? Tomorrow, if you count today, tomorrow, and then Friday. I have my G.I. Jane hair going. I did a little buzz yesterday. I am ready to go. And I hope that you are too. I see Starchy sisters in the house. Let's check out who's here. Let's check it out. Nadine from Belgium. Hi, Nadine. Welcome, sister. Kristen from Oregon. Love Oregon, sister. Welcome. Sam from New Jersey. Welcome, Sam. JJ's here from Missouri. Shawnee from British Columbia. Carol from Colorado. Dublin from Germany. Dublin, I hope you're feeling better, sister. I'm so glad you're here. Healthy Connie from Silverton, Oregon. Oregon's a popular place to be eating some healthy whole foods, right? all people who love Oregon know that about Oregon, I think. Alabama, Debbie's here. Nice. Rose from South Africa. I love that name, Rose. So pretty. Penny. Hi, Pen. Hi, sister. From Oregon. Also, Lynette, good afternoon from Minnesota. Woo, I love it. And Shauna here from Florida. It is a hot one here, you guys. We walk outside and I'm like, I'm sweating just being out here. So let's get into it. Our 30-day reset starts Friday. So many of you, I feel like, have already started, or you're already on this plant-based journey and you are like rocking it. I see the pictures in the Facebook group. I see the comments, the posts, the questions, everyone getting ready. So I just want to invite those sisters who are maybe watching on the replay. Let us know where you're watching the replay from. Also, you can join our Starchy Sister 30-day reset private Facebook group. We'd love to have you in there. Get some Starchy Sister support and love. It's always nice. Just the energy of the group can be so nourishing, you guys. And I have something to tell you. So I have my downloads, right, that I created. I created these a long time ago, and I am not tech savvy. So those downloads are in the description box below. And I've created new ones. So I have a whole little packet for you all. But on the back end, I have to put it into like the platform, I guess, so that when you can put your email in and download it. So there's stuff I have to do on the back end that I want to do either tonight or tomorrow morning. So it's available to you guys tomorrow. So you can start using it, have some just little fun things. I kind of redid the reset guidelines a little bit. I listed out some condiments, some little motivation stuff, just it's not super fancy, you guys. I'm not there yet. Hopefully, eventually, maybe I could hire somebody, I don't know, to do something super fancy. But in the meantime, you just have little old Starchy Shauna, and it's a Word doc. It's easy to print out, and it's good to go. So that I'm excited to get out to you tomorrow. So be on the lookout. I'll put it in the Facebook group. I'll put the link for it in the Facebook group, and I'll also put it in this video in the description box. So that's available. So if you're watching this on the replay, good chances it might already be down there, which I love. All right. So let's see what else is going on in our little chat. No Facebook. I know, Carol, you know what, you guys, I wasn't a Facebooker either. Like I literally had a personal Facebook that I hadn't been on in years. And to create the private Facebook group for this, I had to create a Facebook profile. So Starchy Shauna now has a Facebook profile that I haven't even put anything. I think I uploaded one video. I guess I'm going to have to start putting things on that too. But it's like, once you start adding the things, there's more things it's more time and energy. So number one platform is YouTube. That's where I feel most comfy right now, and I can get my message out and we can all meet. And then the second is our private Facebook group. And then the rest will just come from that. We'll see. Libby, you made it from Sacramento. Woo! Joy's here from Tennessee. Love it, sisters. Lisa, still at work, but sending love and support. I love that, Lisa. So glad you're here, sister. My sister, too, Penny. She's also at work, sneaking in, listening. So I just love that, you guys, lending your support and being here energetically. It's so nice. So Anya's here. She's multitasking from the chiropractor. She's also in Florida. She's a Starchy sister I met in person, you guys. It's so nice when we can meet in person and it just clicks, because it's like we have this foundation, this base already. All right, we'll take a deep breath and get going. I'm sitting down today because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. I thought I debated about standing or sitting, because when my energy gets flowing, like I stand up. But on some of the videos, you guys, like I see myself do like this. Like I'm just bobbing because I'm shifting and my energy, I don't know if it's nerves or just I move when I talk. I have no idea. You learn a lot about yourself when you can observe yourself on video. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get down to business. We're talking all things reset today, getting things ready. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. I love it. Getting all things ready. I see one comment I want to, yeah, Debbie doesn't do Facebook either. Yeah, I get it, sister. And then Shawnee's loving the Facebook group, 200 plus strong. You guys are my OGs, right? Like anyone watching me on YouTube right now and anyone in the face group, you all are the originals, right? This is starting from the beginning. And those who have been with me for months and months, it's like originals. You have seen me grown. I got a comment the other day saying, oh my gosh, you're so comfortable in front of the camera now. Like if you look at my first videos, you guys, like I'll rewatch them and I just love that. I love that, Shauna. I love that version of me. I'm so grateful to her for stepping on this path and moving forward. I can get teary-eyed about it. But yeah, it's just, I've just gotten more comfortable, talking to you all because I see you all now. Like I know you, I'm getting to know you better through our comments, through the Facebook group. And I just feel like I'm talking to my Starchy sisters, and that makes me feel comfortable and just excited to be here and show up. So let's get down to our reset. I want to hash this stuff out, get it so we're on point, ready to go, get a little inspiration in there so that we're ready to move forward and step into this whole food, plant-based way of eating fully and completely so that we can be rooted in this way of eating. So I will be looking at my notes today and talking from those. Well, looking at them for reference and then talking. So let's see what's the first on the agenda. Oh, I wanted to go over this because I can really, but before I get to that, I did want to mention one thing. In the reset guidelines, I did say about having a calendar. For many of you who have seen my videos, like from the beginning, I used this calendar. Like I can't get rid of it, you guys. I still have it. It has all my, let's see, not in January because I didn't start in January. Well, I can see my week 1 when I started 186.5, week 2, week 3, week 4. See, I didn't weigh yet. And then I weighed on week 5 and I was already 178, down 8.5 pounds. So this is what I wrote my weekly weigh-in on. Didn't weigh that first 30 days. And then on the 5th week, I weighed again and had lost 8 pounds. So this is what I recommend. And I did it every week, down how many pounds I was down. I can follow my whole journey just by this calendar. And it helps to have it like this because you can see it a week at a time, right? It's just like when I would lose steam or momentum, I would just look back at this and see, wow, I lost 8.8 pounds, or, oh my gosh, it feels like I haven't lost a lot of weight. And then I look back and it's like, oh, well, in 3 weeks, I've lost 3.2 pounds. Like, so it really helps with that pat on our backs and keeping the momentum going. So I suggest doing this just real quick, writing your weight down, right? And then what week you're on. And even as I got further into the journey, I wrote down what day. Like now I'm over a year. I'm over 365 days in. So I stopped counting, but you can put, like here, I started week 11, day 63, 168.8 pounds, total 17.7 pounds. And then day 70, day 77, day 84. It just really, it helped me. It was just kind of like that pat on the back and kept the momentum going for me so that I could see, man, I was doing this and the days were adding up. Like I was, spending all those days nourishing my body in this healthy way. And it felt really good. So I suggest using a calendar like this year, or this year I've gotten one of these type calendars that it's just like the flip book calendar. But I do suggest, my thing is always getting one that has the calendar boxes, right? And I put my little appointments in here, and then and then I'm going to put, wherever that is, whatever my weigh-in day is, I'm going to start doing that for the 30-day reset. And sometimes you can get these bigger. I like them just with the calendar. But if you're doing this for 30 days and you're at that point of writing everything down that you eat, like you're not solid in this way of eating yet, then you can even get ones with those, with pages for notes. Okay. I need to start a calendar myself, right? Starchy Shauna calendar. So anyway, so I suggest either getting that or that. So you can keep track of your weight and write down weekly what you're doing. What I wanted to start with was one of my stories, right? I am one of those people. Let me get a little drink of water. Oh my gosh, so good, you guys. So cool. That can just cool me from the inside out. So I can be one of those people that I can just literally an all or nothing girl, right? If I'm going in, I'm going all in, and not all in just with one thing, right? I have in the past done, okay, I'm going to do whole food, plant-based, no oil, starch solution. I'm going to start getting up at 5 a.m. I'm going to start walking 3 miles. I'm going to, I can't even think, meditate. And then I'm going to journal for an hour. And then I'm going to make phone calls and call all my, my mom, my sister. And then I'm going to plan my meals, and I'm going to have every meal planned exactly what I'm going to do. And the whole deal, you guys. And then by day 3, I would be exhausted and stop everything. Maybe by day 7. So when I broke my ankle, it was really a gift in so many ways. And in this way, it was a gift because I couldn't really do anything else. Like I was focusing on healing my body. I couldn't take on any more things. So it really just gave me the focus of, okay, like it's just about the food. Like that's it. And in the Starch Solution, Dr. McDougall says, like, you don't have to go crazy on exercise. So that was perfect because I couldn't exercise. And I was just like, okay, I can focus on the food. And that's where my saying comes from, the food comes first, was born out of. Because of that time, it really let me, getting goosebumps, it really let me build this foundation of just focusing on the food. That was it, right? I was just able for those first 30 days to really root this way of eating into my life and just focus completely on liking or changing my palate so I would start to like those whole natural foods. Just with a little bit of seasoning, not too much pizzazz. I really wanted my taste buds to like eating this way. And so it really gave me the opportunity not to go overboard with excited with too much stuff, but just to hone it down and focus on the food. And the guidelines laid out on page 216 of the Starch Solution, I could follow that. And so I want to say to you all, what's really been surprising for me is that our starchy sisters, I really thought it would be, a lot of starchy sisters like me who had, and there are so many of you, right? We've been on this journey. We've been plant-based and kind of in and out following the vegan lifestyle, like that whole deal. But I'm really surprised at how many starchy sisters are just starting this for the first time ever. And if that's you, like, welcome. And go easy on yourself, sister. Like many of us have been, eating vegan for years, trying to eat more whole food, natural whole foods for years. So our palate has kind of slowly been adjusting. And not to say that it wasn't hard, because I was still eating those processed foods. So it was hard. But if you're coming from like the majority of your food is processed or high calorie dense and, fatty and all that stuff, just be gentle with yourself, right? We want to move slowly into this and honor ourselves and remember that this is our journey. Like that's why it's called guidelines and not rules, because these are just, almost like suggestions. This is what worked for me. I followed Dr. McDougall's advice. It worked for me. The weight came off. I felt better. My palate was cleansed and life is good. And now it's rooted in my way of living and being. So I just want to say that from the get-go, like honor yourself, honor your journey. Like this is your path to tread. Okay. That was my story. I bet some of you resonate with that, right? The all or nothing, the going all in. I probably in the past have had 12 New Year's resolutions each month. Every new month is a New Year's resolution for me. I love a new beginning, you guys. Okay. So just a reminder of why we're doing this reset, right? It's I every time I say think in my mind, I'm about to say like it's not just the food. Every time I think of that, I think of Dr. McDougall's famous saying. You all know it. I don't even have to say it. It's the food. It is the food. It is the food. And I want to say our reset is not only about the food. It is surrounding the food, right? But it's about resetting our palate, resetting our mind, resetting our health. Like it can be so many things for each one of us, and resetting our food, right? Getting into that more whole food, healthful way of eating. And so just keeping this in mind as we go through, that's why I laid out the guidelines. I have those two separate guidelines, the food, but also the parameters, like the guidelines of what I did that was mindset and also behaviors that helped me move and change, because it's not just the food. Like the food is so big. Like once we have the food and it's all prepared and ready to go, right? I have this here. I'm going to eat this for a snack. But once that's here, what about when I look at this and say, it's here, it's prepared, it's ready to go, but I don't feel like eating it. Then what do I do? Oh, my mind is telling me I want to eat those old foods that I used to eat, those processed, higher fat foods that give me that kick or, feed something else inside of me than my hunger. Like it's about that too. It's about investigating. It's about getting to know why we're doing the things we're doing around food and beginning to unpack that. Because let's be honest, I'm middle age. I'm 55 now. So chances are a lot of you probably that are with me are around my age group. And so we've been down this road before. We have been down this road and we want to heal our relationship with food. And that takes further investigation than just cooking all this food, having it prepared and ready, and eating it. Because if it was that easy, I would have done this 20 years ago, you guys. And I'm sure all of you feel the same. Things come up, it's not that easy. And we need to start looking a little bit more deeply and investigating why we do things, the things we do around food, and asking ourselves those questions in the moment when it comes up. That was a big game changer for me on my journey when I started asking why. Okay, why am I craving this right now? I have these beautiful potatoes and these beautiful vegetables ready to eat, ready to go here. Now, why? Why do I want this other junky food? Because I don't need it, right? And so we start to unpack that, which is why I say, write everything down that you're eating, which I know for some of you, it's like, I know you resist that. Sorry about that. For those who have had to write down everything in past dieting history, it's also writing down what you eat, but it's writing down your feelings around it. I mean, I wasn't writing a whole journal page. I was just writing, breakfast oatmeal, lunch potatoes and veggies, dinner rice and stir fry. And then at the end of that, I would write, I noticed I was really not wanting to eat the potatoes today and was really craving processed food. That's it. Just so I know. Just so I know. And then if there was something else that went on with it, like Starchy husband and I got in an argument, or I didn't get enough sleep, or I was tired, or the grandkids were over, then I could start to link these things together that made me really unpack what was driving my hunger, not my hunger, what was driving my desire to eat these foods rather than just hunger, right? Okay. That was a big one, but just remembering our why, that it's more than just the food. Okay. So what I'm offering as the 30-day reset is following Dr. John McDougall's Starch Solution, right? Page 216 of Maximum Weight Loss. But then I'm just going to read what Shauna wrote here. I also like to write down 3 daily things I'm grateful for. I love that, sister. How I'm feeling and what I do for exercise daily. Yes, I love that. I have to get back to exercise, you guys. I have been so off the exercise lately. But first comes the food. First comes the food. Love the hearts. Libby says, I had 10 days between my first reset and this one. I thought I'd loosen up a bit and enjoy myself, but I was so solid in the food after 30 days, I couldn't figure out how to cheat. That's how it is, you guys. Like, Libby, double high five, sister. I get you. We have made it so it is harder to eat something that's not in alignment with this than it is just fine. I'll just eat my kale and green beans and my potato because that's what I have prepped and ready to go. Like, it is too much trouble to go to the store, buy some crappy processed food, cook it, and all of that. Why? When I have all this food right here. Yes. Once you have it rooted in your way of being, it's just, yeah, it's amazing because it's your habit. So why I wrote down here, just to go into a little why did I follow the maximum weight loss, and why just not do the Starch Solution by Dr. John McDougall? Because they are different things. The page 216 for maximum weight loss, the intention is to have weight loss, right? And the Starch Solution is focus on starches. So you can eat a whole meal of starches on the Starch Solution. Like, if your meal is beans and rice for lunch and that's all you have, that is fine. That's in alignment with the Starch Solution. When we get into maximum weight loss, we're adding in those non-starchy veggies intentionally to lower the calorie density of the meal so that we're still getting enough volume of food, but the calories are lowered. And so for me, why I decided to do that was I was feeling so bad about myself and my weight. I just knew that the weight was the barrier between me and healthy. And so I knew that weight was the thing that I had to release. And it just made sense for me to do the maximum weight loss on page 216. And to me, the guidelines were less ambiguous. They were just more straightforward, and I could just follow that. And having said that, I still did like my own, like I said at the beginning, follow your journey. This is your path. On maximum weight loss, Dr. McDougall recommends no soy products at all. On the Starch Solution, Dr. McDougall says yes to soy products and have them as a condiment, i.e., tofu, soy milk. And so when I ate, I kept in tofu because that was something that I enjoyed that helped me stay consistent on this way of eating and living without being deprived. So bringing in little things like this that help you stay consistent and stay within your plan while still losing weight, still moving into your most healthy, vibrant, energetic self is important. And we'll get more into that. But that's why I did maximum weight loss. I was just ready. I knew weight was the barrier for me. And so that was part of my journey. It was rooting this way of being and it was losing weight. It was these two intentions at the same time. And I just, for that first month, I let go of the losing weight. Like as far as thinking wise, I just focused on rooting this way of eating and living in my life. All right. I love that you're here, sisters. It never gets old for me that that we're all here live. Like it's so exciting to me. This is like a miracle, right? This is the beauty of technology. Technology gets a shiesty rap sometimes, and I know I can get sucked into technology realm, but man, for this stuff, for the connection, I feel all of your energies here. I just love it. Okay, so I just wanted to give you the reminder that you can get a copy of the guidelines in the description box down below. You can join our Facebook group if you have Facebook in the description box down below. And I will have brand new reset guidelines. They're the same content, you guys, it hasn't changed, but that'll be in the description box below, hopefully tonight or tomorrow. I wanted to give a reminder about the food freedom triangle that I created, right? At the top is our commitment, our why we're doing this. This is the thing that we can come back to again and again. Our consistency, this is what we are doing every day to make it a habit. So we are showing up consistently every single day. And then our implementation is our what? Our prepping the food, our finding and preparing meals that taste good to us, our enjoyment, our noticing, the experiment, all that stuff. So commitment, consistency, and implementation. And I'd have to really think about it, but if a problem comes up for you during this 30 days, it can usually, I would say 100%. So if you can prove me wrong, message me so I know that I'm wrong. But for me, I could always attribute it either to I wasn't rock solid in my commitment, or I wasn't going back to why I was doing this. I wasn't going back there again and again. To my consistency, I wasn't being consistent with showing up every day at certain times, specific times, eating, nourishing my body, all that stuff. Or it was implementation. To me, implementation is the easiest one because the implementation one, if you can zero in on why it's not being implemented in the correct way, it can be fixed. So really looking when something's going wrong, okay, is it not that I didn't have my food prepped? Did I not go grocery shopping? Why am I starving and have nothing to eat? Did I not prep enough vegetables? All those things fit into implementation that can help us be consistent. So we have to, it's like working up, right? We focus on the implementation, which all these YouTube videos are on, right? All the YouTubers out there show you recipes, how to prep food, all that good stuff, so that you can get that solid so that you can be consistent. And then once we're in consistency, if we're getting inconsistency and then we're like, okay, I've got the implementation down. It's all done. My food's all ready. Everything's there. Then why am I not being consistent? Why, if all the food's there, like I talked about earlier, am I craving this other junky food? Then we get a little bit more in the weeds. Then we have to get more into the investigation. Then we have to go back and lean on our commitment, our why. Okay, I'm craving this thing and I want this so bad because I want to feel better in my body. I want to live a healthy, vibrant life. I can picture myself being and living that version of me that I want to be. And so we lean on that why to get us back to being consistent and continuing to implement. It's like a triangle flow. It's like the energy continuously flows, you guys, through this triangle. And we can pick out one of those to see where there might be issues if you're struggling. All right. How's it feeling, you guys? Let's see the little hearts. How's it going? You all with me? Are you still here? Yes. I love it. Okay. So just a couple things I wanted to go over, and then we'll get into questions because I have some questions that have been coming up consistently, and I'll check your questions also in the chat. Sound good? Okay. So I just wanted to reiterate this. I've said this a couple times before, and I'll say it again. There are different, even if they're minuscule, you guys, different versions of eating whole food, plant-based, no oil, right? Everybody has their opinion, or eating just whole food, plant-based, or whatever. So we all have decided collectively, right, that we are on Dr. McDougall's bandwagon. That's the bandwagon that we're following for this 30-day reset. And if you're following me, it's probably the one that you're on, right? And so we are deciding that. And so it's time to cut out the noise of everything else. It can get you so lost in the sauce. Even other people, when you start seeing, you don't think it affects you mentally, but when you start seeing, oh, this sauce that's made with cashews, oh, well, maybe I could just have cashews then. Maybe I could bring in a little cashews. It starts the mind thinking in all different ways. And I'll just give you that reminder of David Goggins, right? The mind is a medieval mother effer. Like our mind will play tricks on us. And so we have to be the boss of this mind. And for 30 days, we're saying, nope, none of that. We're finding the recipes we like that are low calorie density and no oil, right? Low fat. We're using those, and that's it. We don't need to go look anymore. We can shut all that noise out and stay committed to this way of eating and being. And where you can do that is you can follow me on YouTube. Really, though, you can follow Dr. McDougall. I'm going to link Kathy Hester has interviews with Stacy Cross, who is a support specialist at the McDougall weight loss, the McDougall Foundation. I don't know what it's called, but anyway, with Dr. McDougall's way of eating, with the Starch Solution and all that stuff. And she has interviews on there that are pure gold, you guys. If you listen to those every day for the next 30 days, you will be an expert on this way of eating and living for the rest of your life. Like it is just, the information she gives is so, so good. So I'll link those down below also. and also Dr. McDougall's website, and they have a YouTube channel also. So root yourself in these things. Take these things in when it comes to listening to things about food. Other things, right? Motivation things, habit change, all that good stuff. That's great. But when it comes to the food, don't let yourself be thrown about by these varying opinions for these next 30 days. That's my biggest recommendation. Learning what to feed our minds is a whole other reset that we could do. Actually, that's inspired thinking. 30-day reset, cleanse our minds. Maybe that'll be the next 30-day reset. For now, we're doing the food. But yeah, so just as much as you can, keep it to that. Keep it to Dr. McDougall. Only people that are fully following the low fat, whole food plant-based, no oil. Because, I just won't get to it. You all get my message. You hear what I'm saying. Okay, hunger cues. Yes, yes, amen to that. Thank you, Susanna. David Goggins is hardcore, but so inspiring. Tells it like it is. Love me some David Goggins, Shawnee. Yep, you're so right. You have to be okay with the F word because he can go off. But man, he was an ultra marathon runner. He was a Navy SEAL, all that stuff. Like I have to appreciate the boldness and the stick-to-itiveness and the grit that it takes to do the things he's done. So yeah, I'm really motivated by him. I have these two sides of me, right? The little angel side that's like soft and loving, and then that little devil side that's like hardcore and like, come on, you can do it. So I have to balance between these two sides. It's hard when you all ask me questions because sometimes I'll have that part of me that's like, just go for it, stick to it, 30 days, no matter what, you can do it, give everything up. And then that other side of me that's like, well, if you want to eat a little of that, that's fine. Just it's within me. I'm sure we all have that, right? We all have those. We're multidimensional people. Like I'm not just one way or another. So yeah, cashews. No cashews. Yes. I love it, Shawnee. All right. And then I wanted to go over hunger cues. So I'll share about my sister, Penny, who's here. She doesn't feel hungry. Like she said, that's one of the hardest things for her to recognize in her body. And so I just thought it was important that we talk about that here for some people. If you're not feeling those hunger fullness cues yet, or it's just really difficult. And some of it could be, she said she works at a computer all day. She can go all day and not really feel hungry. And I just wanted to recognize that can be true, right? Especially if we're out of touch with our hunger fullness cues. We'll talk about hunger right now, hunger cues. And so first, being aware that hunger can show up in different ways for different people. Many of you know I experience migraines. So some of my hunger cue, if I wait too long to eat, it'll be a headache. I'll start to feel a headache come on. For other people, it can be salivating. That can be a hunger cue. Irritability can be a hunger cue. So they can show up in feeling tired. They can show up in different ways, these hunger cues. And until we know what they are for us, it can be difficult because it can feel like, oh, I'm just tired, but I don't even really feel hungry, but I haven't eaten in 5 hours. Like, what's going on? So this is just a recommendation. If that's for you, while you're getting to know your hunger fullness cues, it can be beneficial just to kind of have set times that you're eating, just so you kind of get used to eating at a set time. Now, this is not forcing yourself. Like if you're eating and you're like, oh, I just can't, like, don't force yourself to eat like that. that is totally not in alignment with Dr. McDougall's eating plan at all. So we want to eat when we're hungry. And if you feel like you're not in touch with those hunger cues yet, just noticing when you're eating, okay, do I feel like I can eat now? Does this feel good? And then just eat your meal then. You want to space it out. You don't want it to be like every 2 hours you're eating a meal, but just a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. And then just kind of check in every so often, week 1, week 2, see how you're feeling, see if you notice those hunger cues start to come and how they feel for you. This is when being an investigator really comes up. But I just wanted to touch on that since I knew that my sister was experiencing it, that other starchy sisters probably were. And just to let you know, you're not alone. Especially we've gotten far away from listening to our hunger fullness cues for years, many of us. And so when we've squashed that down for so long, it's hard to recognize what true hunger feels like for us. And if you're hungry, so those were the hunger cues, but I just want to say, if you are hungry, if you're hungry, sisters, eat starches. Eat your starches. This is like what moms used to say, eat your veggies. I'm telling you, eat your starches. If you get to that point to where whatever life happens, you're out of the house, you didn't pack anything, you come home and you are ready to eat. Don't wait to have, don't fool with those non-starchy veggies, putting them in the oven, doing the pot, steaming them, whatever. You can do that after you've eaten your starches, but you want to get starches in you so that you're starting to feel satisfied, so that you're not derailed and going for something, because once we're in that state, like that's the hunger drive. Once we're in that state of like, I need to eat something now, like red alert, right? Something needs to get in this body. The thinking mind isn't working right then. The brain is hijacking and it just wants to get anything in there. And so just make sure if you do get in that state, right? Life happens. You take the kids to a baseball game or watching the grandkids or whatever. Make sure that when you get to a place where you can eat, home, hopefully, that you get some starches in there. Rice, potatoes, beans, the foods that fill you up. All right, I'm going to take another drink of water. Grab a gold potato out of the fridge if you're truly hungry. Hi, Julia. It will taste great. It's so true. The danger zone, Penn said. Yeah. Okay. Going back to the why of why we're eating, I just wanted to touch on that again. I touched on it at the beginning, right? Knowing why we're eating. So really getting into that. Oh, okay. Snack, Starchy has been saying to me. He'll wait until I look at him, you guys. So that's why sometimes if I'm and I'm doing this, I'm looking at Starchy husband. So sorry about that. Someone had questions about snacks, and I'm glad you do because I am getting to that. That's in questions later. Okay, so why are we eating? Know yourself and be honest. This reset is bigger than the food. For so many of us, it's a healing journey, right? We've been on this journey for a long time. We want to root this way of being and live our most healthy, vibrant life. And so getting to the root of why are we eating? Why are we eating? And if we're not truly hungry, if that's not the driver, then what is the driver? And really investigating this. And this can be really helpful. This can be where journaling can come in and be such a way of looking more deeply into what is driving us and where we need to work with healing in our life, whether that is through a self-help book, a therapist, whatever, talking to family and friends, whatever it is, or just meditating and looking more deeply within ourselves. It's really getting down to the why. Because these healthy, nourishing, whole plant foods are enough to sustain us. We can cleanse our palate and enjoy eating them. So if it's not satisfying us, then there may be something else going on, and really looking into the why. And yeah, it can really determine. And so we'll get a little bit more into this with talking about food and the different ways that it comes up and shows up while we're on these 30 days. So I'm just going to make a note of that, why, and continue on that. So, and then what I just said, we want to cleanse our palate so that we're used to these natural foods, fruits, veggies, and starches, right? That's what we're doing here. We're cleansing our palate. It's a miracle, you guys. Once this palate is cleansed, oh, it's so good. It's so good. You don't even want to give up the cleansed palate. It's like a hard one. It's a hard one thing that I never even want to release again. I'm just so happy with my cleansed palate. All right, so food questions. So with each of these questions, or any food question, you guys, because I get these food questions. So with any of these, you want to bring in that any food that you want to bring in that is not a low calorie dense whole food, right? Any food you want to bring in. How does it make me feel when I eat it? Asking yourself, how does it make me feel emotionally? And how does it make me feel physically? Why do you feel like you need it? Is it taste or convenience? And is it to stick to this way of eating? So we ask ourselves these different questions when we want to bring these foods in. Okay, so here's the first question I got. How do we know if certain foods fit in, like Lara bars and simple meal bars? Okay, well, first of all, they don't fit in because they're high calorie dense processed foods. They're not whole foods. So even if they're made, I think Lara bars, they probably are, though, fully made up of, whole foods, but they're not low calorie dense. And they're processed. And so they're so high calorie dense, the weight's not going to be released when we're eating these foods regularly. And so then we start to ask ourselves those questions I said before, like, okay, why am I wanting a Lar bar? Or what was it? A simple meal bar? Is it because it's convenience, right? Like I make those oatmeal bars. That is a convenient food. So I can take those with me for convenience sake and eat them while I'm out, right? So is it for convenience? So then I start to look at, all right, is there a whole food option like the oatmeal bars that I make, or like a potato, something like that. So we start to dig in. Now, if we're asking, okay, is it maybe a Lar bar every day makes it so it feels like this huge treat for me, and it makes it so I can stay committed to my whole food plant-based way of eating, then that's a whole different story. But we start to ask with each of these things, why? What's the reason? So Lar bars and simple meal bars. And I'm thinking by simple meal bars, this person, this Starchy sister, I'm thinking that's like a name brand or something, not something that I would make at home. That's my assumption when she asked that. Okay. Healthy Connie loves my oatmeal bars. Me too, sister. I told Starchy husband, because he's doing the 30-day reset too. I'm like, I probably should make those for you so you can eat those for breakfast every day. Because he's not he doesn't love oatmeal like I do. So it's like, not fun for him to be eating oatmeal every day. So we're figuring it out. Another one I got is PB2 powder okay on the reset. All right. So PB2 powder, this made me look this all up because I don't even know if PB2 powder was invented when Dr. McDougall wrote the book. But either way, PB2 powder is 45 calories, 1.5 grams of fat for 2 tablespoons. So, in the big scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. And I will say this, if I'm eating if your starchy sister is having her PB2 powder, right? And I mix it up to make that creamy PB2 thing, then I'm going to have it in my oatmeal, right? And then I might be thinking, well, I make that PB2 sauce with sriracha that's so good over the stir fry veggies. I'm going to make the stir fry veggies so I can have that PB2 over it, that sauce. And then I'll think, well, I'm having salad for dinner. I bet I could make a salad dressing using that PB2. And then before you know it, this little starchy sister, I've gone down that slippery slope and I'm figuring out how to make PB2 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just not good for me. It's not good for me to go there. Like once my palate starts tasting these more exciting tasting things, then I can just go over the edge. I'll just say another example. Do you know that chili sauce? I'm going to get it actually while we're here. Sorry, you guys, I just have to show you this. Okay. So this Thai red chili sauce, I think it has a little sugar in it, vinegar, garlic, red pepper, just stuff that like we can have, right? It's not a big deal as a condiment, just a little sprinkling, not like dousing it, whatever. It's 70 calories for 2 tablespoons. I don't even use 2 tablespoons, although maybe I do. I don't know. I don't measure it out. 2 tablespoons seems like an awfully lot. Like this is pretty sugary when your palate's cleansed. But the problem for me is that when I use this, I really love my stir fry veggies. And I love them anyway, but I really love them when I start putting this sauce on it. And so then I want more. And then I want to add more tofu and stir fry veggies and more rice so I can have more of this chili garlic sauce or chili sauce, sweet red chili sauce. And so I know this about myself. I'm very mindful about it. And if I notice, you guys, I'm telling you, if I notice that I start over craving something like this, I nip it in the bud. I'm like, I'm not having chili garlic sauce for the next couple weeks just because I don't want to go there. I do not want to go there. I'm not giving up feeling this good so I can have tons of chili red garlic sauce. Like it's not worth it to me. And so knowing that about ourselves and really being aware, that's me. And this is your journey, right? You may put a teaspoon of chili garlic sauce or do 1 serving of PB2 powder once a week, and you're fine. And it's good. And it doesn't trigger something in you. And it helps you stay committed and consistent with this way of eating. Have at it. Like enjoy. That is what I say to that. And so knowing this about ourselves, I'm that way about tofu, right? I kept tofu on my menu with my stir fry veggies because to me, that little treat of tofu, even though it wasn't on the maximum weight loss, I could have those 10 cubes. I would have 8 to 10 cubes. That was enough. Did I want more? I did want more, but fine. I would have my 8 to 10 cubes and I would be done with it. And it made me feel not deprived eating this way. It made me feel like once a week I had a treat of eating stir fry veggies with rice and my tofu cubes. So if it's that, see that about yourself. And I will say, and I notice when I start, walking in the kitchen and say, oh, let me just pop a couple more tofu cubes and a couple more, it's getting into something else that I'm, that I'm feeding when I get into that. So I have to be really mindful of that. So, yeah. So allowing these things that support you staying committed and consistent on this way of eating without going overboard. And the reminder that for this 30 days, we want to cleanse our palate. I didn't eat chili red sauce at all. Honestly, you guys, probably till I was close to my goal weight. I mean, I've shared. I used seasoning and spices. I didn't really get into a lot of the sauces just because it was easier for me I didn't have to resist it. I abstained from it. And that was easier for me. And that's actually talked about in Atomic Habits. He talks about this, like people who seem to have this rock solid, I'm losing the word. What is that word called when you when you resist something? Come on, someone younger than me. When we resist something, we have willpower, our willpower. People who seem to have rock solid willpower, it's not really the willpower, it's that they are removing all the times that they have to say no, basically. Like, yeah. So that's what I did. I just removed all the stuff I had to say no to. And it seemed like I had such willpower. I didn't have willpower. I didn't have it. I just didn't have it in the house. I wasn't using it. So it just wasn't a part of the habit I was building. I love it. I love that. And to me, the spices and my palate got used to that. It was good. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Are smoothies allowed on the reset? Smoothies, I'll go back to same as PB2. From my research, if anyone else knows anything different, let me know. But from my research, Dr. McDougall is not against smoothies, and smoothies aren't like recommended for weight loss just because we can overdo it on the calories. And I've seen that too before. I think Chef AJ does that blending when you blend up the food, it's so much easier to drink that than if you were to have, like a big bowl of kale with a big bowl of spinach, add in 2 whole fruits, whatever else that is going on those smoothies. Like, we probably wouldn't eat that much in one sitting, but once it's blended up in a smoothie, we can sure drink it. And so it's really not recommended for weight loss. And having said that, if having your morning smoothie, right? See, here goes Shauna, right? The devil side and the angel side. The devil side says, nope, ditch the smoothies, just give it up for 30 days. The angel side saying, you know what? If smoothies helps you stay committed and consistent to eating a whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating, then enjoy your smoothies, right? It's your journey, sisters. Like, do what makes you feel good. For me, my journey, I did not drink smoothies. And I have to tell you, I was a big smoothie girl before. I calculated the calories of the smoothie that I was drinking every day. And I did it for Starchy Husband because I'm not a calorie counter. But before I ate this, I haven't had a smoothie in over a year. But when I used to eat them, my smoothie I was drinking every day was over 500 calories. Over 500 calories. And I would drink that smoothie and be hungry 2 hours later. So it's easy to get those smoothies down and not even realizing that we're overdoing the calories. And we're, to shed excess weight, we're in a calorie deficit. Okay. So those were the main ones about the foods. I'll check in here, see if there's anything. If you have a burning question, be sure to put like 3 question marks in front of it, because that'll really help me out. To go. You guys are having some great combos here. Calm Vibes V is here. Welcome. 7-Piece Frog is here. Welcome, sisters. Glad you could make it. Okay. So these are more questions I'm going into. It says, A Starchy sister asked, did you go off sweetener completely? None in oatmeal, no stevia or maple syrup. How did you get through eating it until you were used to it? For me, a little turns out to be a lot, but I can't get used to not having any sweetener in her oatmeal at all. Maybe I should give up oatmeal until my taste buds change. So that's an option, right? Like I gave up certain things until my taste buds change. That's an option. I do want to reiterate here that my journey, I had been vegan for years and had been floating in and out of whole food plant-based for probably a good few years, trying to make it stick. And so I would go on again, off again, get back into processed foods. And having said that, I had given up sugar many years ago. Like that was a thing that I had given up. I had gotten back into sugar, but I had given it up a lot and was used to not eating a whole lot of sugar. And my oatmeal, I never got into like putting sweetener on my oatmeal. So that wasn't my journey with having sweetener. I like oatmeal. Like I like the taste of it. I enjoy oatmeal. So, since I can't speak from my personal experience, what I can say to that is a little maple syrup is okay, sister. The trouble I hear in what this Starchy sister was asking is she said a little turns into a lot. Thanks, son. And so that's the problem, right? When it becomes a trigger for us, so the little bit is not doing it and we need more and more. And so in that case, I would say, like this Starchy sister, right? For me, it wasn't oatmeal with maple syrup, but it was the stir fry veggies with the chili sauce. Like I would just remove the chili sauce. And then if I can't eat the veggies with the chili sauce, then I would just find something else to replace it. That's just me personally. And if you could do, the other way I thought of it was if you could do, okay, I love my oats. I really want my oats every day, although it sounded like this Starchy sister is willing to give them up. But if I really wanted my oats and I love them with maple syrup, could you do a taper down, right? Maybe week 1, you're using 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. Is that not enough? I don't know. A tablespoon of maple syrup. I don't know how many oats you're eating and how sweet you like it. Like once our palates cleanse, it just like a little's like, woo, that's real sweet. But let's say 2 teaspoons, and then week 2, try a teaspoon and a half. And then week 3, a teaspoon, and see if tapering down like that would work. And then the third option is, just GI Janing it and saying, I'm eating my oatmeal, I'm giving up the maple syrup, and I'm going all board in. The only problem with that is, if you're not enjoying your food every day, that can really cause us to be resentful about this way of eating and living. And we don't want to go there, right? This is healthy, nourishing food. So we want to nourish our body in the best way we can. So I hope that helped out, sister. All right. Starchy Husband said we had a question in the chat. Did you just stick to 2 fruits daily as per maximum weight loss guidelines? I'll say yes and no. So when I started initially for the first 30 days, no, I did not stick to 2, because for me, just being able to eat this way was sticking to it. Rooting this way of eating was more important to me than losing weight. So I had these 2 intentions, right? rooting this way of being and losing weight, really feeling better. I mean, honestly, you guys, that was it, feeling better. But the rooting it was higher. That was number one for me. I just had to stick to this way of eating because I knew if I stuck with it, something inside of me knew if I stuck with it, everything else would work out. I just gives me goosebumps again. I just knew it. And so and so if so I didn't feel like eating more than 2 fruits was a big deal. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's going to eat 10 fruits in a day or go really overboard. I know some people can do that, like me with the chili sauce. I'm not like that with fruits. Like I can eat like here for my snack, I have 2 of these little um halo, what are they called? Nectarines, tangerines. I'm not going to eat 10 of those. So I say just know yourself. And if if it's like I want a fruit and I'm hungry, or it's in between meals and I want a little something, then I'd say have a fruit. Yeah, it progressed for me. And then after my first 30 days, I just, I would get more and more into like my palate had cleansed and I was feeling better. I was thinking more clearly, like I had less brain fog. I was really in reading into like this way of eating and living and being maximum weight loss and all of that. And then it progressed into the 2 fruits a day as my body got smaller. And so I just stuck with the morning breakfast, always have a fruit with my breakfast, and then my sorbet after dinner. And then honestly, you guys, I was thinking about this earlier. My sorbet, that's probably considered probably 1 to 2 servings of fruit. Technically, I consider it 1 because I eat it at one time, but it's pretty, it's a good amount of blended. I blend it, so it's a good amount of blended fruit. So yeah, I hope that helps, Kristen. Um, okay, what about, let me just check here. Sorbet is the bomb. Yes. I use organic stevia in my coffee and my oatmeal. Yeah. So I'm assuming you're so amazing, out of the question on this 30-day reset. Oops. Oh no, Susanna took it away. Okay. So what about almond milk? Plant milks in general. So this is plant milks in general, my personal experience. I eliminated plant milks completely. I left them to the wayside. I just recently started cooking with them again and having soy milk in my tea. That's my journey. And so plant milks in general can be used as a condiment and when cooking and baking. So the other side of that is cleansing the palate. I know when I drink my tea plain, it tastes totally different than when I drink it with soy milk in it. And so I'm grateful that I have, thanks, son, I got it, that I had that time to cleanse my palate. And this is what I'm doing. This is a good time for me to say. So for this reset, I eat pretty clean, pretty, Starch Solution for sure, and maximum weight loss for the most part. Even now, I still do. And for this reset, I'm going to eliminate plant milks again for me. I'm going to eliminate my oat milk cookies again for these 30 days and just get back to the whole foods in their natural state. That's my intention for this 30 days. And really, the more we can get to that, you guys, just whole plant foods in their natural state, the better. That's really, as far as the food goes, like the reset's so much more than the food. But as far as the food goes, like the closest we can get to that, whole foods in their natural state. And then we have those little extra things. For me, it was the tofu. For one starchy sister, maybe the PB2. For another, maybe the chili sauce, whatever, just those things to make it a little bit more palatable so we can enjoy our food and not feel like we're deprived. Okay, tofu and soy milk. So the milk I just addressed and the tofu I addressed too. Tofu is technically not part of maximum weight loss. And for me, I just used a small amount and stuck to that. So you're welcome to do that or not. If you notice tofu's a trigger for you and it just makes you want to eat a whole block, let me know, sisters, in the comments. Could you eat a whole block of tofu? I am definitely that starchy sister. I can eat a whole block of tofu, especially when they're in little cubes. Oh, so yummy. But if that's not a trigger for you, then just keep it as a condiment, right? A little bit, 8 to 10 cubes, quarter cup is good. And then go on about your business. I see. Yeah. Yes. Can't be trusted with tofu. I can eat a whole block and then some. Yep. Okay. Here we go with the snacking. There was a snacking question earlier, right, you guys? So gonna struggle with not snacking. I know it's best when I omit it, but I've really been struggling with it. It's just so comforting to eat. Okay. So sorry guys, I got distracted because Starchy Husband was telling me about a question. I'll get to it. I see it, Becky. Okay. And so this starchy sister said she's going to struggle with not snacking. She knows it's best when she omits it, but she's really been struggling with it. It's just so comforting to eat. Okay. So by that question, it's just so comforting to eat, lets me know the snack probably isn't carrots and snap peas, sugar snap peas, like my sister is loving eating right now. It's probably something a little bit more calorie dense and is feeding something else. So I just want to get clear on what we think snacking is. For me, when I hear snacking, I think of highly processed foods that trigger something in me that makes me want to eat more and more and more, and then I'm feeding something else within me. So if we're talking about that, starchy sister, then snacking is not okay. Now, because why? It's not in alignment with how you want to live your life, right? It's not that it's bad or good. It's what's supporting us in living our most healthy, vibrant life. And really, when we get clear on that question, is this supporting me in me living my most healthy, vibrant life? Okay. Then if I'm talking about snacking and I have packed a yellow potato and some carrots, or I've packed my 2 little tangerines or whatever it is, and that's my snack, is that supporting my most healthy, vibrant, energetic life? Sure is. Yep. And so then I would say snacking is okay. Now, if it's the highly processed food, the food that triggers you and makes you want to go down a road that doesn't support your most healthy, vibrant living, no, I would say that's not okay. And so we start to learn to ask these questions and check in with ourselves. Is this serving me where I want to go? Okay, let's get to Becky's question. Prior to reset, did you cook extra food for starchy husband, the not my food? My husband is supportive, so probably just me feeling guilty. Hard to resist his food sometimes. Yeah, I'm going to get a little into that too, Becky. Like I said, I've been on this journey, the vegan journey, for a long time, and Starchy Husband was not vegan. And so I stopped cooking that food a long time ago. And so during those years when I was doing that, yeah, I could see that. And it was just a transition of me. I just kind of stopped not making his food, and he just kind of took over making his food. So yeah, that's how I think of it. So we've been a divided food eating family for quite some time, to where he'll cook his own food and eat it, and I'll cook my own food and eat it. And I, really what I want to say is his food doesn't, cause that in me. Like, it doesn't make me think, oh man, I want to be eating that food. I don't know. I don't want to say maybe he's not a great cook. I don't know. It just, I'd rather be eating what I was cooking, I guess is the way to say that. But I'll go more into that too, because it is, when we have those foods around that people in our family are eating and cooking, and like you said, Becky, you might even have to prepare it for them. Like, that can be very hard to resist. So I'm with you, sister. I hear you. And I know that that is a struggle, and I'll get a little bit more into that in a minute. um so are veggies really a must on the starch solution? So this is where these two come in different. The starch solution and maximum weight loss. The starch solution, no. Like a pot of beans, like I said earlier, you can eat beans and rice for lunch. Like, the focus is the starch. When you move more into starch solution for maximum weight loss, that's when Dr. McDougall goes in and recommends the 50-50 plate and really upping those non-starchy veggies. And so, yeah, so we're doing the maximum weight loss, and we're focusing, and that's what I did and have done. Now I'm in that habit. Like you guys have seen, I can eat 4 cups of veggies in one sitting. And so, yeah, so that's good. I see you on. Yeah. I get distracted when starchy husband comes by, you guys, and then I lose my train of thought. Uh, Popcorn, popped at home, no oil, etc. Ooh, that's a good question, Rosie. I think air popped popcorn that's just plain with a little, something or other, can be a great snack. I feel like it is more calorie dense. And if somebody knows the answer to that, will you put it in the chat? Because I think that it's one of those things that, as long as it's not triggering for you, for me, I can really overeat popcorn. Even air popped popcorn with nutritional yeast on it, to me, is the bomb. And so I've stayed away from popcorn. Yeah, but if it's not a trigger for you, I would say that could be a nice little snack, but just being mindful, like, of how much you're eating. It We can get into like volume eating, which I can get into. And so, yeah, Chef AJ says hand to mouth foods are dangerous. So it's one of those things we have to check in with ourselves, because too, popcorn can be one of those things for me that can kind of lead me into those more processed foods. So, like, is it a gateway food that brings me over into the foods I don't want to be eating? And so popcorn can be one of those, because then I'm like, okay, and then I want some salt on my popcorn, and then I want some other not so great stuff on my popcorn. And yeah, so, but the no oil, just popcorn, plain air popped by itself, having just a little bit of it, I think would be fine. Okay, Dr. McDougall. Okay, here we go. Shawnee has the answer from Dr. McDougall. Generally advises against frequent consumption of air popped popcorn due to its high calorie density and low satiety, making it easy to overeat. Yep, there we go. So ignore everything I said, and Dr. McDougall wins. Always. um, Okay, so how do you count your white bean chili on a 50-50 plate or any other recipe you want to make? So when it's white bean chili or any kind of, Shawnee said, sorry. I know, sister. I know. I love that. So any of the beans, rice, bean dishes, bean soups, all of that, I always count. No, I won't say always. The majority of the time, I count them as starchy. So that would be on the starchy side of my 50-50 plate. And then the non starchy veggies would be over here. So always having for me that 50% of non starchy veggies, and then the beans, rice, potatoes, all that would always be on the starchy side. And for me, I like to do my beans and then I do a potato or rice because I like to eat those together, and those are on the starchy side of my 50-50 plate. Hope that answers that question, sister. um, Eating out is a real struggle for me, still working on it. So I would ask, first of all, what comes to mind is, why is it a struggle? So, is it because you're eating out for convenience, or is it the taste of the food, or yeah, the more calorie dense options? Is it like you're going out to eat and it's a party every time? So it depends on the reason that this starchy sister is eating out. Is it the company, but it goes to what I said earlier about putting ourselves in tempting situations. We have to have that resistance, right? And so anytime we do that, it's difficult. It can put us in that position of having to use, I'm still losing that word again over and over, you guys, but having to resist whatever it is. Whereas if we just don't put ourselves in the situation, we don't have to rely on that resisting. We're setting ourselves up for failure or for success. So when we go into eating out, the chances of us eating something not in alignment with our most healthy, vibrant, energetic life goes up. And so if we stay out of there, that's why I know this is a hard one and I feel it. I wanted to hold on to eating out. It was a thing that we did because Starchy husband and I, right? Divided food household. We could go out to eat or we could order something to eat and he could get his food and I could get my food. And it, yeah, but it wasn't in alignment anymore with my vision for myself that I had of living this lifestyle and eating this way. And so there are side notes to that, right? If you work and you have to eat out, say once a week as a lunch gathering or something like that, this is a big one that, remember, I think Dr. Esselstyn said it. Why are you eating out? Like, use it as a meal replacement. If your identity, sister, if who you are now is somebody who eats whole food, plant-based, no oil, low calorie density, and you're going to do that for this 30 days, you've decided that, then when you go out, find a whole food, plant-based, no oil, low calorie density, something or other that you can order out on the menu. It's right. That to me is way too hard. I mean, it can be done, right? A year and how many months later. But when I was first starting and doing this, that was too hard for me. Like I didn't want to do it. So I just didn't eat out. So I get it that eating out, giving that up is a struggle. So then I would ask you, can you start looking for foods that are in alignment with this way of eating so that you can enjoy eating out? And the plant-based doctors, I remember, I think it was Dr. Furman, even though I said, right, just listen to Dr. McDougall, but we take these things in. So I think it was Dr. Furman that said he'll order like a big salad and he'll pay full price, right? Order 2 big salads, put it all in one big bowl, and that's what he's eating, with a cup of rice or a cup of quinoa. A lot of restaurants have quinoa nowadays, and all the veggies they have. There you go. And then you can bring your own dressing or put only balsamic on it. There you go. There's something that you can eat out and eat. And I would say once you find the restaurant that you can find a compliant meal at, then ask who you're going out to eat with. Oh, can we eat at this restaurant? Oh, do you mind if we meet at this restaurant? So many of these things, right? We think we can't talk about food. And then once we start talking about it, it's like, oh my gosh, we could be talking about this for hours on end, for days on end. Like, there's just so much, like little things to go in and out of. I never knew, you guys. I just thought, okay, I'm doing a 30-day reset. We're going to eat whole food, plant based, no oil, low calorie density. And then all these things come. It's like, wow, there's a lot to talk about. Okay. Let's see where we are. Just a couple more things. My husband goes along with anything I decide to do. Okay, here's the husband thing. We mostly hold each other accountable, but at times it backfires because if one goes off, it gives the other an excuse to do the same. I guess, like you say, I need to stay committed, consistent, and implement no matter what. Um, so that's a big one, right? So, husband and this starchy sister are committing together, right? Gonna do it and all excited. And then they're, they go into it and one decides they're gonna eat something that can be triggering to the other person. And so the good thing about this is the great thing about this starchy sister asking this question is she's preparing, right? She's preparing for this to happen. And so she knows, okay, this is a possibility. What can I do? What can I do? Can I start making a plan? That was our little chihuahua snort in the background. She's so funny. Anyone who has chihuahuas, they do this like snorting sound. It's so cute. But knowing like what the things are that are going to come up, when we can start having a plan for those things and being prepared, then we can make better decisions. So having the plan, I get extreme, you guys. Like I can say if something's triggering to me, this goes to yours too, Becky. If something's triggering to me and I'm craving it, even if I was preparing it, say I was preparing something that I thought, oh my gosh, this is so good, I would give it to whoever I'm preparing it for, starchy husband, the kids, the grandkids, whatever. And then I would say, I need to go upstairs, or I'm going to eat my food in the other room because I just can't be around you while you're eating that. I mean, I've literally said that to starchy husband before. I can't be around you while you're eating that. Like it becomes a thing where I'm taking care of myself. I need to preserve my health, well-being, and my vitality. And I can guarantee you, starchy husband, my kids, my grandkids, whole family benefits from me taking care of myself in the best way that I know how. And that is by nourishing myself with these whole foods that support me in living my most healthy, vibrant life. And when we get really clear on that, right? When that why, that's why I say that triangle, we go back to that why. When I have my commitment, my why, which is I want to live my most healthy, vibrant, energetic life. I see it, I feel it, I taste it. Then when this something or other comes up, I'm going to do anything I can to get away from it so I am not forfeiting my most healthy, vibrant, energetic life. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. Because here's the truth, you guys. Starchy Shauna can start crying right on point. Here is the truth. I have done it. And I know where that road leads. I have done that probably 100 times before I got on this path this last time. And you all are knowing me now. And the only road that I didn't know where it led was this one. That is why anything that came up, I was able to say, nope, because I'd been down that road before. I know where it led. I know that if this junky food came up and I started eating it again, that I would feel depressed, defeated, depleted, overweight, unhealthy, bad about myself, like all the negative things. And I'm running out of time. Like I was 54. I'm not getting any younger. And so I knew that I had to like start doing it now or just like, this is it. I am going to go downhill from here until I'm in the grave. Not to get dramatic, but that is truly how I felt and how I still feel. And it's why I can be so rooted and committed in my why, because nothing, not one single food tastes good enough for me to give up my most healthy, vibrant, energetic life. Not one. Not chili garlic sauce, not smoothie, not PB2, not eating out, whatever you can throw at me. Not chocolate, not coffee, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on. Not anything feels to me would be worth it to me to give up this, you guys. Nothing. And so that's why I've been so hammering down on the why. And it can be as simple as that. Like, I know what it feels like now to live my most healthy, vibrant, energetic life. I didn't know what it felt like then. And I needed to find out, what does this feel like? I'm trusting Dr. McDougall. I'm trusting this path. And you know what? He was right. And I got there and I'm still not giving it up. I'm still not. That's why I don't go have a celebration lunch, or you know what I mean? It's just, this is the celebration. This is a celebration. Like eating this is celebrating, because every time I eat this, I feel good. I feel healthy. I feel alive. This is how I want to live and breathe and be. So, okay. That's why. And so that's why in those moments, that's why the 30 days is so important, because this is the wobbly time, right? This is the time when it can be, I can go like just veer off. But it's why we have to have these things in place. We have to have our why in place. We have to have our intention, our consistency, our implementation, all of it in place, because we want to get less wobbly, so that you're like as committed as I am now, so that you're just like, you know what? There is nothing anyone can put in front of me that, even if I did taste it, and I know this too, you guys, even if whatever, I can't even think of, let's say, I don't even know, a chocolate something or other. I used to love chocolate. Haven't had chocolate in over a year, but I used to love it. So I'm assuming I probably still love it. Have a taste of chocolate. I could leave it in a heartbeat. I could leave it. It wouldn't derail me at all. I don't need it. I'm done with it. Because living this way feels so much better than anything any of that can bring me. And I'll just say it one more time, because I had been down that road before. I know what it led to. It led to overweight, unhealthy, feeling bad about myself, the whole list. I could go on and on again, but I won't. All right. Love when you go all Goggins on us. I can't help it, you guys. I cannot help it. I just get so passionate about it because I feel so good, and I want you all to feel it. It's like me reaching my hand. Come here, sisters. Come here. Like if I could just put you in my house for 30 days, lock all the doors and feed you all this nourishing food, let your palate cleanse, like that would be the dream, right? We could just start out with clean palates and go on about our life. Okay. So the last one is stress eating at night. Shawnee said she'll be right over. Yep, I make enough food. That's my thing. It's like I have these big pot of beans. It's like I need some starchy sisters to share my food with. All right. Starchy husband said there's a question. Say again, hon?
More than one.
More than one. Can we have our sorbet on this 30-day plan? Okay, the sorbet, like the sorbet I eat. So, right, technically, that's one of those things that technically, how we interpret it in the maximum weight loss section, it says two whole fruits. And so I wasn't picky about the fruits, right? Because to me, the sorbet, it goes back to the asking myself why. Having that sorbet at the end of the day for me was just like, it made me feel good. It made me, it felt like a treat, you guys. So it didn't trigger me in any way. It didn't make me want to eat 5 sorbets or anything like that. It was just like, okay, this is whole fruit that I've kind of blended up so it feels like ice cream or whatever. So I say, yes, we can have our sorbet. And if it's something for you that feels like, oh my gosh, it makes me want to eat 3 sorbets, or, take it with a grain of salt. Not literally a grain of salt, just that saying. Take it with, do what feels good for you, sisters, is what I'm saying. 7-piece frog says, this still sounds like it's so confusing. I need to do this clean eating to lose weight. I hear some say you have to count and others say not. I had heard that eating vegan, not processed, that you don't have to count. So is this eating the way that Dr. Esselstyn says and does? Does anyone know, I think this, Dr. McDougall and Dr. Esselstyn, I think, are super close because it's in alignment with the the heart health way of eating, right? For Dr. Esselstyn, he studied those who had blockages in their I'm going to just massacre it all, you guys. So I apologize ahead of time. But people who are having heart trouble, let's just say it that way. And so his is also a low fat, whole food, plant-based, no oil, low fat way of eating. Yes, those are very similar, 7-piece frog. And I do want to say that if it feels confusing, let's just go back, right? Let's bring it all in and let's just say less is more. What do I have to focus on? So I'm talking to you, sister, 7-piece frog, and anyone else that this would be helpful for. So just anything I've said, just block it out for right this second. 1, eat whole food, plant-based, no oil, right? We're not eating the oil. Whole food, plant-based, no oil. I don't say this ever because I assume that if you're on watching my channel or whatever, that you're either on this way or you already know, but I will say it here. No animal products whatsoever. Okay? So it's whole food, plant-based, no oil. And then everything else we can look at and we can say, is this whole food, plant-based, no oil? Let me get my notes, you guys. Because this is actually one thing I wanted to say. Okay. And then whole food, plant-based, no oil. Eat when you're hungry, right? If you can feel those hunger fullness cues, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. And 4, eat a starch-centered diet. So we are focusing on those starches, right? We want to eat those starches. If this is your brand new way of eating, then the starches are the focus. That's the starch solution. And then you bring in vegetables and you bring in fruit to add variety. If you are doing maximum weight loss, then you're still focusing on starches, but you're doing a 50-50 plate. Half veggies, half starches. Those are the 4 things you're focusing on, okay? Whole food, plant-based, whole plant foods, no oils, listening to your hunger fullness cues, and focusing on starch. And if you've been doing it for a while, that 50-50 plate, because we want to release that excess weight. That's it. That's it. And anytime anything else comes in, just ask yourself, is it whole plant foods? Does it have oil in it? Am I hungry? And is my plate focused on starch, or is it a 50-50 plate? That's it. That's it, sister. That is what I did. And really, I could break it down to that one. Is this a whole plant food? Because oil's not whole plant food. So is this a whole plant food? And if it wasn't a whole plant food, I wasn't eating it. I wasn't eating it, you guys. A potato, yep, whole plant. Rice, whole plant. Broccoli, whole plant. Cauliflower, whole plant. Zucchini, whole plant. Green beans, whole plant. Oatmeal, whole plant. Like, you can look at all my videos and you can see I show you guys what I eat. It is whole plant foods. Maybe a little seasoning and spices on there. But that's what we need to get to. And so I do want to say to those starchy sisters, it can feel like when we get into the talking about it and, one person's asking this, another person asks this, one wants to keep this in, one wants to keep that in, la, 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 la. Let everything get quiet. Everything get quiet and hear yourself say, is it a whole plant food? Does it have oil in it? Am I hungry? And is it focused on starch, right? Because we need that starch for fullness. Okay. I hope that helps to clear it up, you guys. Please give a little heart, those little heart emojis. I know it's only if we're live, you can push those little hearts that come up. It only goes live. But I appreciate you who put thing. JJ said crystal clear. Selena, thumbs up. Yeah. We don't want to get lost in the sauce. And for many of us who have been on the journey for a while, you do want to, I don't know, just say, oh, can I do this? Can I do this? But really, especially when we're first starting out or resetting, like we're doing, we want to pare it down again. Pare it down, pare it down, pare it down. Okay. All right, you guys. Eat whole food, plant-based, no oil. This is some great information. Hi, Mary. Mary is a cousin, Starchy Sisters. Love that you're here. Okay, so 7-Piece Frog wants clarification. So am I trying to lose, 50-50 or the 50-50 later? So here's the deal. Dr. McDougall says, I'm connecting into myself, you all, just to see what would be the best. So I'm just going to pause. 50-50 now or 50-50 later? I would say if this is a brand new way of eating for you, sister, that you don't have to worry about the 50-50 plate. Just stick with the starch solution. Starches, vegetables, and fruit, whole plant foods. The 50-50 can come later. And just increase it, right? Just increase your veggies as you go on. That's how I did it. I didn't start out eating 50-50. My oatmeal did not have cauliflower in it when I first started this. I increased my veggies as I went along. And so if you are a starchy sister that's just starting out, like really root this way of eating and being in your life And if it feels confusing, just go back to that. Whole plant foods, no oil. Don't worry about the rest. Like, don't even worry about the 50-50. Just get it down to that. Whole food, plants, no oil. Okay, does that sound good? Okay, yes, hearts. Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome. All right, you guys. So I wanted to share one last thing. This, I'll just give you a teaser, is in the front of the download that I'm going to get the information out on. It's basically what we talk about. So it's just in this little packet. But this is what I wanted to say to all of us, right? Many of you Starchy sisters might have heard this quote already. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out, oh, I always get teary-eyed, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. Theodore Roosevelt quoted in Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. I want to say to each one of you, you are in the arena, sisters. You are showing up for yourself. You are doing it. And so by even trying, you are already in the arena. You are there. So honor yourselves, honor this journey, be there for yourself, cut out all the noise, listen to your internal guidance. And when that internal guidance is not loud enough for you to hear, trust what Dr. McDougall has laid out. Trust my path that I have walked because I've been there too, and know that you can do it too. You can do it too, sisters. I am so proud to be walking side by side with each one of you. Like, we can do this. We can cut out the noise. We can get back to basics, and we can focus on eating whole plant foods. And when something comes up for you, put it in the Facebook group. Message me, email me, whatever. We have 30 days. If a craving strikes, let it be. Talk about it first before you go out and decide to uncleanse your palate, because that cleansing is happening. And so each day that you stick to it, you are cleansing your palate and getting closer to where you want to be. Let's stay in the arena together. Let's keep this dust and sweat and tears, because on the other side of that is this, you guys. It is living your most healthy, your most vibrant, your most energetic life, and nothing is worth giving that up. Nothing. I promise you that. I promise you. I love all these hearts. Thank you, Dublin. I appreciate you. Dublin's my little super chatter where she's donating money to the cause. I love it. Thank you, sister. And I love you all. I appreciate you so much. I feel your energy. I feel you here. And let's stay true to ourselves. Let's honor ourselves, and let's do this once and for all. Once and for all. Be done with this weight loss struggle for good. Connect in to our highest, most vibrant, energetic selves, and step into the future that we all deserve now. Now, you guys, we got it. We're starting Friday. getting this reset started. I am with you. I am committed. I'm going to go live, you guys, on Friday for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. I'll put it on YouTube. I'll send out the blast so you all know if you're able to pop in and say hi and be with me. So you can just see like we're starting this together, because the more we surround ourselves with each other who are doing this, the more that we can stay focused and stay on the path to our most healthy, vibrant, energetic lives. I have to tell you, it's been hard sitting down this whole time. I want to get up and get excited and dance about all of it. I feel so excited. Yeah, super simple. Yeah, it's important to keep it simple. I feel so motivated. Yay. Woohoo. Shawnee, now dance. I love it. I know if I don't know if YouTube does something about whatever, if you put songs in your videos, but wouldn't that be fun to have a dance party? Like, I love dancing now. Like, and I don't dance good, you guys. So all right, Starchy sisters, it's been such a pleasure as always. We went super long today. I just love being with you all. And I'm glad we got these questions out of the way. We broke it down and then we just got back to basics, right? Love having you all here along this journey with me. Let's get this party started. 30-day reset. Here we go. Starting on Friday. Be looking out for this new, I already have the papers done. So I just need to figure out how to do it on the back end and put it so you guys can download it on your end. So it'll be here. I love you guys so much. Mwah. Deep love, sisters. Deep love. I will see you next time. And I'm going live Friday 3 times. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Starting off the reset day 1 with a bang. All right, you guys, I'll see you all tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow, Dublin. For us, it's day after tomorrow, sister. Dublin has 1 day, you guys. She's in Germany. Yay. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you next time. Mwah. So much love.